Good morning, everyone. It is a bright and beautiful Friday morning, and we're going to do first thoughts on a Friday, but maybe we should do first thoughts on a Good Friday. Yeah, why don't we do that? And in my service this evening, I'm just going to touch on the 7 last words of Christ, as they're often known. It's where they gather sayings of Jesus from the cross from all 4 Gospels. Yeah, I'm not going to say a whole lot about each one in particular. Just throw out a little something for you to think about. How about that first word? Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. Think about that. How could Jesus pray such a prayer from the cross? The very people who are killing him. But then again, I think we need to remember that Jesus is the one who said, love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you. Did he not? Did he not? That second word, assuredly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. The words that he spoke to the thief on the cross next to him. One of them, there were 2 thieves. One of them was just kind of berating Jesus, and the other one said, hey, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus says, hey, I will. Today you'll be with me in paradise. What's he mean by today? I mean, like this very day before the 24 hours is over? Does today refer to a future resurrection? We have that kind of talk throughout the New Testament, that we, as Paul says, we kind of go to sleep now, and on that day we will awaken. I wonder exactly what does that mean. All I know is it's a word of comfort. It's a big word of comfort for us. How about, therefore, when Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing there, he said to his mother, woman, behold your son. And then he said to the disciple, behold your mother. From that hour, the disciple took her to his own home. Hey, do you remember that time when Jesus' mom and his brothers were coming after him, and because they thought he was crazy, all the stuff he's doing, he's out of his mind. And somebody said, hey, Jesus, at the front door, it's your mom and your brothers. They're looking for you. And he looks around and he goes, who is my mother and my father and my brother and my sister? They're right here in front of me. All of you who follow after God. Yeah, that's who his family is. But I like how particular this passage is. Jesus is showing his ultimate care for his mother, whom he knows already widowed. At least we assume that because we never hear about Joseph. But here he looks and, the other thing I always wonder about, who's the beloved disciple? Who is that? He's never named anywhere. We just kind of assume it's John, and John, who at least was behind the authorship of this gospel. Behold your mother. Family. That's what Jesus brings to us in his ministry here on this earth. A new family, the family of God. All right, that's the third word. How about the fourth word? A little strange. Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani. What's that? It's Aramaic for my God, why have you forsaken me? Why have you abandoned me? Yeah, Jesus, he's quoting from Psalm 22 at this point. And it's a psalm of despair. Is Jesus giving up on God, his Father, at this point? Is he that out of sorts? Is he just out of his mind? Is the agony of the cross hanging there and bleeding to death and suffocating in his lungs, is all that making a lack of oxygen to his brain, and he's just saying crazy things now, spewing out all kind of scripture passages? Because we're going to see he's already done it and he's going to do it again. Huh. Or is Jesus on display right there in all his humanity? Are the times that we all wonder, where are you, God? Yeah, something to think about. Something to think about. We'll see a little bit more as we get later on into the last words of Jesus. How about this fifth word? That the scripture might be fulfilled, Jesus said, I am thirsty. That comes from the Gospel of John. And we know the Gospel of John, he's pretty hip on making sure that scripture, meaning the Old Testament prophetic scriptures, are fulfilled. He really wants us to realize that in them, in those scriptures, we see Jesus at work. And this is a strange one, though. I'm thirsty. Yeah, and it talks about that in the Old Testament too. It's from Psalm 69 this time. They gave me gall for my food. In my thirst, they gave me vinegar to drink. Hey, it talks about that at the crucifixion of Jesus. Yeah, he was thirsty. Yeah, but I also have to think about one other thing. Remember in that Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness. Is there some sort of connection there? Interesting. The sixth word from the cross. When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, it is finished. And this is a continuation from the Gospel of John. Teleo, it is finished. Does that mean the gig is up? There's nothing more to say, nothing more to do. It's all over? No, that word means complete. It's completed. What's completed? God's work of salvation is completed on the cross. God has done it for us. Oh, there's another little surprise waiting for us in 3 days. But right now, it's all been done. Jesus did what God asked him to do. Come to this world, show us how to live. Show us how to be people of God. I'm sure Jesus didn't want hanging on the cross to be part of that deal, but he accepted whatever came his way. It is finished. The last word from the cross. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Again, Jesus is quoting scripture, and he loves quoting from the Psalms. This is Psalm 31. Into your hands I commit my spirit. I read somewhere a while back, and I couldn't put my finger back on it, that this was a prayer that was often, well, the psalm was often recited by young children just before they lay down their heads to go to sleep. We often grew up, a lot of us, with, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. That's it. I'm committing my spirit to God. Jesus committing his spirit. It's finished. Now I commit my spirit. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. It's like just laying back and saying, it's fine. It's good. Good night. And that's what Jesus did. 7 words from the cross. Oh yeah, they come from the different Gospels and we pull them all together. But beautiful words. Words of frustration. Words of promise. Words of hope. Yeah, words of hope. Right after Jesus said, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. This is in the Gospel of Luke. It says, having said this, he breathed his last. He breathed his last. Oh no, he didn't. Oh no. Just you wait. The Sunday after Easter, we're going to talk about Jesus breathing once again. And I know that's getting ahead of the story, but he's going to be breathing new life, his spirit, into the disciples who were gathered in that upper room. Just you wait. Just you wait and see. Well, first thoughts on a Friday. First thoughts on this Good Friday. God's blessings be with you.